If you ever wanted to understand how Westerners get duped by the Palestinian narrative, I've got an insane case study for you. So a few days ago, I showed you how somebody with a malicious intention can misrepresent the facts on the ground when they make a video here. And that was the Andrew Callahan Channel 5 video, which you can watch here. But I'm now going to show you another YouTuber, similar size, he's got around 3 million followers, who's trying his hardest to make a sincere and balanced documentary or record, vlog, I don't know what you'd call it, of his tour of Israel. And you can see he's trying. He's representing the reality that he's shown. And he's doing a pretty balanced job. Currently, he's on his third video. And this is where we begin to see the narrative get hijacked. And he's gone over the Green Line. He starts in Bethlehem and he's going to travel down to Hebron. And you're going to want to stick around and watch because it's a perfect example of how Westerners get duped. And they come with good intentions. And he's clearly not trying to manipulate or push a political agenda. He's just a dude with a camera traveling around the world.
Today I'm cycling into Hebron, one of the oldest cities on earth and the most divided city in the world. It's the only place where Israeli settlers live right in the middle of a Palestinian city, surrounded by soldiers there to protect them.
I mean, just to begin with, it's not his fault, but the framing, this is Palestine, this is a Palestinian city, hugely disputed. Hebron predates any Palestinians. The oldest cemetery in Hebron is Jewish. The oldest buildings in Hebron are Jewish. So the Marat HaMakpelah, the Cave of the Patriarchs. There were Jews living there continuously for centuries until they were ethnically cleansed in 1929 by Muslims. And so the framing of this as Jews living in a Palestinian city, obviously any Jew who's going to watch this is going to object to that framing. But that's how the world sees it, so I'm going to cut them some slack here.
And now we have no spare tyre. It's also raining, so I have to get a rain jacket. We have not much time to get to Hebron, and everyone's warned me about Israeli settlers that are going to throw rocks at me. So, let's go to Hebron, everyone. Take that off, yeah.
I'd love to see you on the
Inshallah.
I need more followers.
Inshallah.
Quick little interjection. There's something really interesting about this freeze frame. And it's not the cars, it's not the bloke, it's the beautiful hotel behind him. The Jaggard Palace is one of the poshest Palestinian hotels there is. And what makes it particularly interesting, at least for me, is the owner. It's owned by a Palestinian billionaire, the richest Palestinian there is, Monib al-Masri. He's built entire cities. He's funded incredibly successful businesses. He contradicts the Palestinian narrative of a downtrodden, oppressed, impoverished people. But there's another way he contradicts the narrative, and that's his name, his clan. He belongs to the al-Masri family. Now, any Arabic speakers will instantly know what that name means. The Egyptian. The Egyptians, or the Al-Masris, came to Nablus in the early 19th century. They're not indigenous. They've not been in the land a long time. And they are the poster family for the Palestinian people. And they're called the Egyptians. You could not script this.
All right, guys, let's go to Hebron. Il est le car. Il est le car. We're on the road again. I've got energy now. I've had minutia for breakfast. I've got energy. We're on the wrong side of the road, but we're going to Hebron. Everyone who I spoke to in Bethlehem warned me about this road, not just because of the dangerous driving, but also the Israeli settlers who like to throw rocks and other objects. So if they stop me, I'm Jewish. But if the Muslims stop me, I'm...
Okay, I made a video a few days ago documenting some of the luxury cars that the Palestinians drive. I'm going to play the same game here. Every time I see a nice car, I'm going to freeze frame and show you. So that's a relatively new Range Rover Velour. Nice. With the Palestinian plates. You can spot the Palestinian cars because they have the white plates. A Mustang drove past before, which will definitely have been driven by an Arab, but it had Israeli plates on, so I didn't include it.
Definitely not Jewish. I'm just a normal man trying to get to Hebron.
Right on cue, that looks like a Mercedes GLE. Okay, maybe I won't pause for every car because there's going to be a lot, but if I see any super nice cars, I will continue to pause.
Probably not what you see in the news, is it? I told you I was going to show you the real Palestine. You didn't believe me, did you? You thought I was just going to show you rubble. The bad news is, you might be thinking, oh Harry, you're going downhill. This is great. But I have to come back up this hill.
So I have to show you guys this place. He's driving down through Hassan to Batir, and I have to show you a beautiful, beautiful palace. Well, it's just there on the right.
So guys, somewhere in this village, you won't be able to see it because it's an invisible line, the 1948 armistice line, aka the green line. I don't know where the Israeli settlements are around here. I don't think they're that close, but they are around. I know they are around because I was told to be very careful when I come here.
So he hasn't meant to do this, but by stopping at this village, he completely collapses the Palestinian narrative again. So the village is called Batir, and the super observant, those au fait with Jewish history, will say, Batir, that sounds familiar. Why do I know Batir? Well, I'll give you a clue. The site he's overlooking is called Khirbet al-Yahud, the ruins of the Jews. Jewish ruin, Batir, what could he possibly be stopped in front of? Batir. This is the famous fortress, Jewish fortress of Batir. Over 2,000 years ago, there was a huge uprising led by a man called Bar Kokhba against the Romans. It took place here. This village is a pointer to Jewish history. Like many Palestinian villages, it's named after the ancient Jewish city, town, fortress location. In this case, Batir is Batir. The settlement nearby that he's talking about is Batir Ilit. Interesting fact about Batir Ilit is the village he just drove past, Hussan, is very affluent. You see a lot of nice cars, nice houses. Why? Because they sold their land to the Jews, and the Jews built Batir Ilit legally, and now many then protest the settlement that they helped create, and they also helped build. The history of this land is complex. It's far from straightforward, but let's continue with the video.
So, onwards and upwards. I'm listening to music on my Meta Ray-Bans and just loving life. Cycling around Palestine.
What have we here? What have we here? That looks like a car dealership. So let's see what kind of cars you can get. So these square Kias, I say these all the time. They're very nice. Look very space age. Got some nice new Hyundai there and a couple of older motors as well. Because there are a lot of nice motors. But there you go. That is, for me, the stereotypical Palestinian car dealership. Nothing fancy. This isn't a posh garage. This is just a garage by the side of the road. And they've got some nice motors. Hyundai, Kia. Very, very popular amongst the Palestinians.
And now, as you'll see, what goes down must come up.
What's really cool about this video is it is actually giving you an accurate representation of what Palestinian life is like. And it's completely normal. He's travelling around, cycling around, visiting everywhere, recording what he sees, and so far he has acted pretty sincerely.
I think there's one big difference between Israel and Palestine. There's a lot of differences, but the one huge difference, and this is, people think I'm being harsh. All the Israelis can be like, you're being so mean. But it's all Western countries, okay? All Western countries versus Arab countries. The Arab people are just so friendly. I was in 5 days in Tel Aviv, and I only people come up to me only if they recognize me from YouTube. Not strangers, never come up to me, they never ask me questions. It's a big city, so I get it. London is the same. But here, every single person comes up to me, because there's no tourists, I guess. In Tel Aviv they get a lot of Westerners, not tourists right now, but that's a huge difference. This is why people love the Arabic people. You probably wonder why vloggers, YouTubers, they always say good things about Arab people. It's not because we are pro-Muslim, pro-this, pro-that. It's just because Arab people are so friendly, so good.
Harry, the Arabs are a friendly people. Very friendly, very hospitable. But ask yourself this question. Why is it that the Arab nations today are ravaged by some of the most brutal and savage violence imaginable? Sectarian, Muslim versus Muslim, Muslim oppressing Yazidi, Muslims oppressing, or Arabs oppressing Kurds, Muslims oppressing Jews and Christians. Why is it? Why are these same friendly people, why is it when they have a nation, a state, they're some of the most violent places on earth and have been for 1400 years? I'll leave that with you to ponder on, Harry. Why is that?
I think I've made a mistake by coming onto the highway. I should have taken the back roads because it's just really not fun driving on the highway at all. Like, either I drive on the road, which is just suicide, or I drive on the hard shoulder and potentially get a puncture.
Nobody knows how unbelievably brave this man is unless they've driven this road. Now, many people don't think that Israelis, Jews and Palestinians are cousins, but if I were to present any proof in the world that the Israelis and the Palestinians are cousins, it would be how terrible they are at driving. These people cannot drive. This man is literally risking his life by driving on this road, Route 60. It's absolutely terrifying. I tell people when they visit Israel, don't worry about terrorism or the war. It's relatively safe. But the minute you step onto an Israeli or even worse, a Palestinian road, you are taking your life in your hands. So kudos for this guy for cycling down the hard shoulder of Route 60.
This is the Israeli settlement on my right. This is a nice part. Now we're cooking on gas, ladies and gentlemen. I'm dying. I'm absolutely dying. I'm gassed. It doesn't look that hilly. It's so up and down. I've had some bad ideas in my time, but this might be one of the worst.
And right on cue, could be one of the worst. As he's saying this, so let's say if it's a yellow plate or a white plate, so Israeli or Palestinian, could be Arab either way, but could equally be Jewish, is hurtling down the hard shoulder that he stopped on. Get out of the road, Harry. If you value your life, get off that hard shoulder.
Someone stop.
Yellow plate.
Give me some water. I've been told it's a little bit sketchy around here, and I'm not sure from which side. Probably both, maybe both. Assalamu alaikum. Kifak.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
Where are you from?
أنا من بريطانيا.
أهلا وسهلا. مسلم؟
لا.
أهلا وسهلا.
شكرا. أهلا وسهلا.
لوك فوتو.
إيه.
فوتو.
إيه فيديو. أنت من وين؟
أنا من فلسطين من الخليل. يا.
كتير حلو هون.
يا.
إيه. شو كيف حياة؟ الحمد لله. شوفي.
This عصاية.
عصاية؟
Look.
Why?
It's good. Wow.
You don't need it. Nice. Would you like a orange?
No.
Okay.
طلع 20 كولا. طب يلا امشي. إذا أعطى بسمن 20 عرض أختي ضل معه هقيت. امشي يلا. Come.
You look English.
Yeah.
لا?
Yeah.
You want kafia? We have kafia.
No kafia.
I have.
No money. والله no money.
Thank you brother.
يلا حبيبي يلا. إذا أعطى بسمن 20 دي أخذ منه 40.
كيفك؟ الحمد لله. بحكي عربي شوي.
Give me some tickets.
Oh لا. That's not how you do it brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Come this way.
Hey, شفت من عنديك من فوق. It's not good this صبح.
سمعك كويس.
I'm sorry brother.
Give me 10 shekels.
No brother, no. I offered you orange juice. I give you orange juice, not money. I offered you orange juice.
أعطاني
حرام
خمسة.
شيء اجيب لك شيء كيف شيء كيف عائله
I offered you orange juice. No, brother.
I know يا زلمه اجيب لك شيء انه هو حرام.
You blocking the way?
No, اجيب لك شيء.
Brother, be friendly. Be friendly. Why? Brother, move out the way.
No 5 chicken.
No. Don't block the way for me.
So I just thought I'd stop here because he's done something which I've never seen a travel vlogger really do. Westerners come here with an agenda, and whenever they can frame an Israeli in a negative light, they include it in the video. But they cut out the negative framing of Palestinians, and here you have a kid who is clearly a little dodgy. And rather than editing out that last scene where he presses him for money, Harry includes it. So I gotta say, hats off, he is trying to depict what he sees. He's trying to give you the experience as he perceives it. So whether it presents the Israelis or the Palestinians in a good or bad light. And truthfully, I don't think he's trying to present either in a good or bad light. But keep watching because it's the end part of this video which is so revealing.
Welcome to, or we're walking to Shuhada Street, which is Old Hebron, and as you can see behind me, it's a ghost town. This used to be a bustling neighborhood of Arab markets, really busy. You can see up there it still says State of Palestine, but this has been officially taken over by Israel, and no one lives here now.
So that's not entirely true. Most of the properties are still lived in, but they're just accessed from the rear rather than from this particular street, which was closed, as we'll get into in a minute.
As you can see, they've got Israeli flags everywhere, all around, and a few people living here. So let's try and find out more. So I just had another interaction with a group of IDF, and it's always the same thing that happens. They shout something, they scream something, and then they're like making jokes because they're always trying to impress each other. They're usually in a big group of like young, they're almost like kids, honestly. And so they say something trying to impress their friends. They all have a laugh, and then I speak to them and they learn about what I'm doing, or like I just tell them I'm from England. And slowly, by the end of the conversation, they have like a lot more, like they're a lot kinder to me. And so the saddest part about this all is that the only interaction that Arabs or Muslims have with Israeli people are just nasty interactions, because the IDF are just sometimes, not all the time, sometimes they're just nasty, because I don't know, you tell me, like they've probably just annoyed, don't enjoy their job or something.
Don't enjoy their job or something? Harry, mate, you're doing disaster tourism. You visited a war zone. This isn't McDonald's. It's not service with a smile. They are tasked with keeping people safe in one of the most hostile environments in the world. And you're annoyed that they don't greet you with a smile and a Happy Meal? Come on, mate.
So yeah, this was the beating heart of Hebron. People used to call this the center, the heart, the lifeline of Hebron. This is where the bus stop was. This is where you would get through to major parts of the city. So everything changed in this area after 1994, when there was a massacre. I think he was Israeli-American man, went into the mosque and massacred a load of Muslims as they were praying. After that, Israel started to enforce restrictions on the area. They said for safety and security, and after that, year after year, they started imposing more restrictions, limiting cars, limiting the amount of shops here, and slowly now Palestinians can't even enter this area, even though they used to live here, and this used to be the beating heart. And now taken over by Israeli settlers. You can see, you probably can't see in the background there, a couple of them, not that many, and a dog. This dog is settled here. And so this city is one of the most unique cities in the West Bank, because it's the only city where Israeli settlers live in the middle of the city, and then they're surrounded by IDF to protect them, and then you have the Palestinians. There's no other city like that, because this is from the Oslo Accords. This is supposed to be Palestinian Authority, the whole thing. And ironically, because of a Israeli attack, the Palestinians lost out a major part of their city, which is actually quite hard to fathom how they got away with that.
How they got away with that. I'm going to cut Harry some slack. I don't think it's his fault that he has this perception. When you visit Hebron, they take you on this whirlwind tour where you see Shuhada Street, but you don't see the rest of the city. The reality is 3% of Hebron is Jewish, 97% is Palestinian. This was agreed with the Hebron Protocol. Now that means that Jews are banned from 97% of Hebron. Hebron wasn't a Palestinian city. It became a Palestinian city when the Jews were ethnically cleansed in 1929. Hebron used to be home to Jews. The Jews lived there for centuries, millennia. Abraham is buried there, Isaac is buried there, Jacob is buried there, and from that point on it has been continuously inhabited by Jews. In 1517, when the Ottomans conquered the land, they massacred the Jewish community of Hebron. In 1929, when the Arab nationalists started pushing and trying to drive the Jews out, they massacred the Jewish community of Hebron. Shuhada Street borders that. And since Jews were able to return following the 67 war, Jews have been slaughtered in Hebron. Over a dozen Jews were murdered from this street, from this area, including a 10-month-old baby. And this is what led the military to close this street and declare it a closed military zone. Why? Because Jews and Palestinians were being killed. Now, Harry knows about Baruch Goldstein and what he did, but what he doesn't realize is that the street he's standing on is soaked in Jewish blood. Over a dozen Jews were killed in this area because they were Jews, and this is why the street was closed. It wasn't in reaction to Baruch Goldstein as a means of vindictive punishment. It was introduced to preserve civilian lives, be they Israeli or Palestinian. That's the reality.
Yeah, I want to take you in a tub in my rooftop.
This is your house?
That's my uncle's house.
This guy was like, I don't want your money. He has a shop. He was like, I don't want your money. I just want you to film it.
Yeah, not everything money with us. Money, not everything. You need people understand us. To see the top, to see new building here.
Oh yeah.
That name Abraham Avinu settlement. Like a settlers make it in a roof in that home.
They live so close to you.
Yeah. A settlers killed three brothers to me.
Do they throw this?
What?
This?
No, that's not today. Every day through it.
Really?
In 2007, a settlers killed three brothers to me in that home.
Your brother?
Yeah, shot my father bullet. Prison my mother, prison my sister. All that things just my father refused to sell that house for the settlers people. Here settlers people. You see, only jump in that roof. Come here, enter in that. Here. Two baby 8 months old died here with the cocktail Molotov. No Molotov gas fire.
Yeah.
They threw it here settlers people in the night, like in 2007 in the night, like a settler jump. In that roof, jump here, come in that way,
Wow.
through cocktail Molotov inside that room. Two baby 8 months old died with the Molotov with the gun.
Wow.
Wow, it's really difficult for me to do what I'm about to do because the death of any infant is tragic. I don't care if they're Jewish, Muslim, Christian. Children's lives are sacred. But because of some things he says later, I was forced to question, is he being truthful? So I investigated to see if I could find any evidence that his twin brothers were killed in the way that he described. So if you cast your mind back to around a decade ago, there was the Duma arson attack where a family was killed, including a young baby. It made international headlines. And so if two infants, twins, 8 months old, had been killed under similar circumstances, it would have to be on the historical record. It would have to be recorded somewhere. And the United Nations put out this report regularly on what's happening in Hebron. There's a lot of observers. They record fires that are lit on the street, every arson attack. But there's no mention anywhere of 2 babies being killed in an arson attack. It actually gets even worse because I know who this man is. He's Gandhi Al-Awaiwi. And I found this article about him where he mentions their deaths, but here, instead of being 8 months old, they're 2 years old. I found another article where they're not even mentioned in his biography. A huge detail to leave out of your alleged oppression. A huge detail to leave out. But it's not there. And because there's no record at all of this happening, and his story isn't consistent, it forces me to question the truthfulness of what he's saying. Now, if somebody can present evidence that this actually occurred, I will delete this scene in a heartbeat because, heaven forbid, I do not want to cast doubt on something that's actually truthful. But I have major questions about what he's telling us, and because of what he goes on to say, I don't trust this man's character.
You know why? Just my father refused to sell that house for a settlers people.
Right.
Just stop here. Come. Only here. Before have money camera, you're not allowed to take picture here.
Oh, really?
Why? Yeah, behind you have camera there. But here,
Israeli camera?
yeah, here, but don't see you here. But if one go there, he won't see you before he take picture, make problem to me.
Oh, really?
Stop here, it's okay here. Now, you see behind you that big building? That name Beit Romano, that for school, Osama school, Palestinian school. In 1994, like a settlers people take it, make it more bigger. Now make it like a synagogue about the settlers people named Beit Romano.
Why is it called Beit Romano? Because it was built in 1879 by Chaim Yisrael Romano. It was a Jewish-built building, and the Jews were ethnically cleansed in 1929, and the building was stolen by Palestinians, by Arabs. And the Jews were then able to return, and it's now back in the hands of the Jewish community, but it's been framed that the Jews stole a Palestinian school, which just could not be further from the truth. This was a Jewish building.
Yeah, you see other one there behind it? That one here, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that name Beit Hadassah, that for hospital, Palestinian hospital.
Beit Hadassah. Is he seriously trying to argue that Beit Hadassah is a Palestinian building? The name literally means Myrtle House in Hebrew. It was built, I think, in 1893 by Jews. Again, another Jewish building where the Jews were ethnically cleansed and then able to return after the Jordanians were driven out of occupied Hebron. And they want to frame this as Jews occupying Palestinian buildings. The truth, as always, is the opposite.
In 1994, like a settlers people take it, make it more bigger, now make it like a synagogue about the settlers people. That building named Tailor Made a Settlement. Other that in 1994, like a settlers people take it, make it more bigger, now make it like a synagogue about the settlers people. You see the top military tower? Here, behind you. A 24-hour have soldier.
Really?
Here, behind you here. That one. A 24-hour have soldier inside it. You see, like a tank water. That not shot. Like a settlers jump here with something like a same knife. Shoot it.
Really?
Yeah. Like a settlers give my family $100 million. You want to buy my house?
No way.
My father refused that. Tell him no, I want to stay in my house.
How many dollars?
$100 million. You want to buy my house? That house protect all that area. To see number 2, number 3, 4, 5, all that number. Each house empty, like a settlers take it. He take it. Now after that things, now not anybody enter inside it. Khalas, finish. That Israel house.
Your father, he will not sell.
No, my father died like that.
So now you own it.
Yeah, I am owner here, but I don't sell my house.
You never sell.
I help 15 people here in my home. That a life
You'll
here.
never sell.
No, I don't sell my house.
I'm sorry, but here's your red flag. This man is a liar. This property that you're looking at here, Beit HaShalom, is just round the corner. It's a much bigger property. How much do you think it went for? $20 million? $50 million? $500,000. He wants you to believe that he was offered $100 million for a property a fraction of the size, and his father said, no, I'm sorry, this guy is a liar. I can't attest to whether he's lying about his siblings, but I can certainly say that this is an outright fiction. Or if somebody did offer his father that, it was in jest. There is absolutely no way on earth anyone would offer $100 million for such a tiny property when you can get far bigger properties, albeit difficultly, for a fraction of that price.
Right at the end of the day, something happened that I didn't actually plan. I was invited by one of my subscribers, who is Palestinian, to visit his house. He told me his family lived in the village and I was passing through. So I turned up as a complete stranger with a camera, and within 5 minutes I was with the family eating tea and chocolate. And that's the thing I keep coming back to.
Why? Look at the occupation. Oh, tough life, guys. Tough life. Why? I want me some of that occupation.
My job here is to show you the people and let them talk, and I hope I did that. So thank you for watching. In the next video, I'm going to be visiting the illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank and speaking to the Israelis.
So we'll try and watch that video together, because I think it will be interesting to see the difference in tone between the settlers and the Palestinians. But this was the perfect example of how Westerners get swept up in the Palestinian narrative. Nothing is fact-checked, and it's just taken on face value. Here's a friendly, warm person telling me their truth, and I'll just accept that their truth is the truth. I won't do any critical analysis. I'll just publish a video to millions of people and let my audience assume that everything that they've just consumed is factual, when in reality, I don't think it is. I think most of it is fiction, or at least perspective. But anyway, I look forward to the next series, or the next video, when we'll be seeing if he's as generous with the truths that the Israelis tell.